How's it going? Welcome to what's going to form a new video series, which we're going to call Just the Tip. And it's basically just going to be a quick kind of pointer on training or technique or form within either powerlifting or strength training or programming. And it's going to be completely topical of what I've seen or kind of what's on my mind at the minute. It's kind of within the same sort of ilk as the Fat Man Ranting Behind a Keyboard series that I publish on the Cast Iron Strength website every now, or castironstrength.com, Facebook every now and again. And basically what we're going to go over today is people's deadlift technique and what I've seen. So I've just been watching some Elgin Intensity videos. If you're not aware of who Elgin Intensity is on video, or is on YouTube, he's basically just a YouTube fitness troll. He's absolutely hilarious. His most recent content is called Gym Idiots, where he basically just lampoons videos of people lifting like dickheads or CrossFitters. Really, really good stuff. Check him out on YouTube. He's got a bunch of channels because he had a lot of DMCAs or DMAs that took down his content basically from CrossFit, trying to put copyright claims against his videos. So his original series that he's famous for, Exercise and Futility, is spread across the internet. But if you search for Infinite and Elgin Intensity, you'll catch him on YouTube. Really good. Basically, I just got done watching one of his videos where Samson Lee's CT Fletcher's son's doing an absolutely heinous deadlift, and he's just basically taking the piss out of it. But one thing I noticed from the competition at the weekend, more so from the ladies' competition at the weekend, was just how shit people's deadlift form is. I would say the majority of people were lifting with absolutely fucking heinous form, like right from the bar up till their max. Either they're trying to treat a 60 kilo weight like it's a maximum pull, so they're like trying to generate as much speed as they can off the floor with like a piss light weight, coming out of position, taking their time to set themselves. This is something I can relate to because up until very recently I had shit form on deadlift as well. Probably one of the primary reasons why my deadlift is so shit compared to my R2 lifts. My bench press has always been pretty decent. There was one stage in 2007, probably sooner than that, probably 2005, 2006 when I was second year at university, when I could bench press 170 kilos, could squat 170 kilos. At that time, my best deadlift was about 220 kilos, and it took me about 2 years to get up to 230. Basically, what I did for deadlift was I just pluck it up off the floor. I never had anyone teach me how to do it correctly, never did it with enough frequency, always had too much weight on the bar. That's the common things that most people do. Common mistakes people do with deadlift that lead to them having heinous or shit form is they train it once a week. They'll train it far too heavy, or they'll train it with too much intensity. And as such, they never really get a chance to develop a good, solid technique or a good, solid postural position. They always end up just ripping it up with any shitty ass form they can utilize to get it up. The best thing I ever did for my deadlift was lighten it up and do it 2 to 3 times a week. So that kind of shift happened about early 2013 and onwards. And obviously since then I've went on to pull 300 kilos, and I'm obviously I've got the road to the 700 pounds or the road to the Operation 700. That's kind of my vlog series at the minute that I'm going through. But there was a stage there when I pulled 290 based off training hard, not with good technique, not with addressing, not with good training principles. I basically just had the primary way I did that was like a 5-week linear cycle, 3 sets of 10, 2 sets of 8, 3 sets of 6, 4 sets of 4, 3 sets of 3. It's all over the Cast Iron Strength blog if you want to check it out. It's a very good program. But basically, it was just through effort, will, and a disregard for my own health or my own postural health to kind of tell you to the level that I was pushing myself from a week-to-week basis. I would do my deadlift session on a Friday night, and then normally, I live about 2 miles away from town, or the gym that I trained at primarily and still train at sometimes, University of Edinburgh. I live about 2 miles away from there, so it's about a 30 to 40 minute walk, depending on how lazy or how fucked I am. I could probably walk maybe a quarter of a mile, maybe half a mile before the the pain in my lower back, or the pump in my lower back, or the lack of feeling in my lower back got to the point where I had to sit down. I'd either have to sit down to dissipate the pain, to unload it to dissipate the pain, or sit back and massage some feeling back into it. I've since learned that's common with people who lift heavy weights. It's a common spinal loading issue that people get. But I was basically just like loading up my lower back and loading myself up for what was like a 10 kilo gain over like a year of training, like an absolute. Like I was training ridiculously hard, and since then, it took about a year, maybe a year and a half, kind of sidetrack, where I was training twice a week, training at like 60 to 80%, primarily 60 to 70%. And then eventually, when I went on to do like a linear cycle after all that training, I went from what was probably about 280 to 300. Like, obviously, I pulled that 292 way in the past, 2012, but at the time, I never really managed to get to that level. Certainly never managed to surpass that level. I came up to a peak in 2014 where I pulled 280 really easily. I think I might have doubled it. I don't think I doubled 280, but certainly pulled 280, 285 piss easy, and then psyched myself out of the 300 kilo pull. But I was around about that strength back then, and then I took a bit of a sidetrack and for whatnot. And then when I did ramp up again, I smashed the 300, and I pulled it in competition on a stiff bar with no straps, obviously, because I'm training with straps, which is a huge landmark. And if you watch the videos back of me deadlifting from the last comp, my technique doesn't really break down. 260 was easy, my back position's good. 285 is easy, my back position's good. 300, it was a bit slow through lockout, but my back position is maintained through the pull. Whereas if you watch a lot of other lifters training in the gym, you'll see them like breaking down with like 50-60% weights because they're trying to like gun ho. And basically, what I'd probably like to say for this video, and just probably end this just the tip video, is lighten your deadlift training, increase the frequency to like 2, maybe 3 times a week, and just pull with good technique. You don't have to fucking rush it off the floor with light weight. Lift with good structural integrity. Find an efficient way to pull it up. So don't start with deep hips and then have to lift your hips up to get it off the floor because you're in a weak position. Start in a strong position. Start with your hips as high as you need them. Maintain your postural integrity through the entirety of your training, all of your training sets, and just go forward from there. You'll find after a year, 2 years, 3 years of training this way, deadlift becomes a lot less of an issue. You'll find you get a lot less back pain with your training, and you'll probably find you actually get a lot stronger training this way. Certainly that's been my experience, and pretty much the experience of every lifter that I've managed to change their deadlift methodology from the typical 1 day a week, smash your fucking cunt in, to train 2-3 days a week, do it productively, add some volume, and actually treat it like a skill and treat it like an exercise, which it is. It's not some test of strength or degraded test of strength as T-Nation would have you believe. It's just an exercise, same as any other. Same as a squat, same as a bench press, same as a snatch, same as a clean. It's a motor skill that requires time, it requires volume, requires practice to become proficient, become good at it. So give it the time, give it the practice it requires, and your deadlift will help a lot. So all those powerlifters lifting with shit technique, please stop. Okay, that'll conclude this video. If you have any questions you want to send, any more of these kinds of videos, just the tip you'd like to see, shoot me an email, speedpowerperformance@gmail.com. Hit us in the comment section below. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Thank you very much for liking, and subscribe to the channel, please. It would really help grow it. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Mark, and I'll catch you in the next one.